Hello out there, you wildlings and free folk from beyond the wall in social isolation. Welcome to Thrones of Game, the Game of Thrones podcast that dares to watch the show backwards. If you've never heard the show before, let me quickly explain for you there, friend, because we got some show to get through. My name is BT Calloway. I've already seen the entire show, but joining me is Elliot Jay O'Neill, who has only ever watched the series for the first time ever in reverse order. Elliot, how are you, buddy?
To quote the guy that got killed in this episode, I am Nish, Nash, Nemash to Cumbash.
I mean, did that happen?
Yeah, like, this dude was talking, like, the most phony made-up language. Like, was it meant to be, whatever?
I don't know what they speak in Marinian?
It sounded so fake, and yeah, the one point that I laughed during the episode was when he said, and I quote, Nish, Nash, Nemash to Cumbash.
I mean, it might be low Valerian, I'm not too sure. But anyway, we just watched Season 5, Episode 2, entitled House of Black and White. For you out there playing at home, this one involves Arya finally arriving at the House of Black and White and Jon being elected Lord Commander of the Night's Watch. Other than that, Elliot, what just happened?
Oh, Nish, Nash, Nemash to Cumbash.
I mean, it's hard to ignore that, isn't it? It sounds like something I would expect Kid Rock to yell in a bad rap rock.
Bar where to bar to Nish, Nash to Cumbash, baby. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, it was all right. This episode got worse as it went along.
It did. It really kicked off quite well.
Yeah.
And then just slowly went down and down and downhill.
Man, I don't actually know, like, because I'm having a hard time remembering because I've been trying to think, like, because I have not really been liking Season 5, and I feel like I've been way lower than I was at Season 6 and 7. Like,
yeah.
Like, 8 has its problems, but I feel like it's a bit of the good outweighs the bads. They kind of outweigh each other, rather.
Yeah, I gotta say this one was a bit, like, this whole season's been a bit more down than I remember it being.
Yeah.
I think the problem really is that at a certain point through the show's run, you knew certain characters got plot armor. Like, the show was famous for killing off characters you really weren't expecting to, and that at a certain point, you know, Dan Brady and John Bum Shovey, you just kind of knew they weren't going to die. Like, and it kind of lost an edge there where you got a sense that, okay, these are our main players now. Let's just see how that plays out.
Yeah, that's a good point, because for all I knew about this show being so much of a kill fest and not being predictable and, like, so many people's favorite characters, like, going every week after week, like, I've mostly been sticking with the same people.
Yeah. I mean, I think
I've seen a few deaths, but, like, key players, mostly the same.
Yeah, I mean, obviously Season 8 bumps off a bunch, but that's the final, so that's fair enough.
Yeah.
Other than that, yeah, we've been mostly... You haven't been introduced to a new key player since Ramsay Snow came back to life.
Yeah.
So, yeah, and I think the biggest death was Shireen, who, you know, burned at the stake, but that was more shocking that it happened, and that the other characters did that to her, rather than that character died in the show.
Yeah, I think that's it. This season is just really lacking, like, those big impactful moments, and maybe it's just because, you know, it's been a few weeks since the final episodes of this season, so, like, less dramatic things have been happening, but, yeah, I don't know. I felt like on the whole I was enjoying... Like, week to week, I was enjoying Season 6 and 7 a lot more than this.
Yeah, I think on the forward watch, I think Season 5 was more like, you know, winding the thing up, and it's, you know...
Winding up its little snake in the Jack-in-the-Box.
And then you're just waiting for what happened in 6. Yeah, because a lot of interesting things happen in 4, if memory serves, what happens when. So we'll get to that, but for now...
Yeah, it feels weird to be talking generally about Season 5 on, like, our penultimate episode of this season, but I assume the first episode's going to be quite good, so I feel like this is kind of wrapping up, like, the boring arc of this season.
Yeah, presumably your first episode of a new season is wrapping up all your cliffhangers, and then you start with the new storylines, new path that you're going on.
Oh, that's a good point. So maybe it won't be that exciting.
Maybe it won't be that exciting because you'll find out what happened to all the things. But
yeah, I remember Season 6, Ep 1 actually being
Yeah, I mean, I can't remember it at all. Do we know what it's called?
The Wars to Come.
Oh, wow.
I've already got a joke about that lined up. That was quick.
Yeah, we'll get to there. But for now, we must ask our first question, which is actually our second question. I have not labeled these well. What is your MVP, your most valuable part of this episode? Or, if you hated it, what's your least valuable part?
Brienne of Tarth, a.k.a. Tilda Swanson.
Yeah.
Fuck, she rules.
Oh,
she just rules. She just rules.
She absolutely rules. She's all like, she's just sitting with Podrick in this, cafe. This inn we've been to a couple of times where they're all eating pies and talking about how good the pie is. And, Podrick want his eye following this waitress around, being like, and notices Lord Baelish and Sansa Stark, and there's a whole bunch of good little dialogue back and forth between Brienne and everyone else, and then a whole chase scene, which was great fun.
I had no idea that fucking Littlefinger was her uncle by marriage. That is so fucked up. Littlefinger sucks.
Littlefinger sucks, and boy does he Littlefinger in this one. Again, very effectively, because he's all like, oh, that's right, you swore to protect the Catelyn Stark. How'd that work out? Ooh, not so good. And you also promised to guard Renly Baratheon. What happened to him again? Oh, yeah, that's right. Murdered by a shadow with the face of Stannis. Yeah, sure it was. Oh, Lady Sansa. Oh, this bitch. I don't know.
Yeah, it's interesting. Littlefinger and Tyrion being sort of having the gift of the gab, sort of seeing those two sides of that coin.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. They're interesting characters, and they always have an interesting dynamic. Everyone who talks for a living in this one is pretty good, I gotta say. Because as much as I hate, Lord Baelish in this, his speeches are good. He's well done in this one.
Oh, he's a great actor.
Yeah, and he starts off with the whole frick these people's names. They're a tongue twister on their own. Yeah, it was all like, Renly Baratheon said your loyalty came for free. It looks like someone's paid for it since then with all your flash armor and your nice sword. Ooh, you suck, bitch.
But then, she engages in this awesome action sequence that was really my most valuable scene in the episode, as well as just like the acting of everyone involved in this thing, even down to Podrick. Fucking hell. His wussy acting is so wonderful.
Gets kicked off his horse and lands in a river. It's like, but now I'm wet.
Throws the stone hopelessly. You're unarmed.
I do love how he just totally missed. The guy's like, oh, wow, dude. I'm still going to kill you, but jeez. Yeah,
I'm not going to feel good about it. I'm not a proud man.
Then, Brienne rides in, is like, duck, and then he just keeps ducking. Good stuff. But even then, when
you can stand up now, Podrick.
Yeah. When even they're just readying it all, and he's all, she's like, Podrick, go ready the horses. We only have one horse. Then find other horses.
Yeah. No, and it's really cool how, she's trying to slow them down as well by letting their horses go and, stabbing a couple and, yeah, I thought these were really cool directed action sequences.
Yeah, and there was a good bit of violence, which we'll just skip ahead to that question, because not too much in this episode where she just stabs a dude through the neck. I think both you and I went, ooh, because it was really effective.
No, it's a really cool 3-hit combo as well, because she, swung and shattered his sword, disarming him, slicing his throat, but just still fucking stamping that envelope with a nice big sword through the neck.
And he's all, as you do.
He was done on combo, the first part as well.
Yep, killed him 5 times before he hit the ground.
For real.
Oh, yeah. Man, that actually had my MVP too as well. I am going to give a quick shout out to, we always like to mention the bit actors, the one who only get one episode to do one thing and do it really well. There's a guy who's former slave who's advising Daenerys on whether or not she should kill this prisoner or not, and he does a great job. I think he's speaking all in what I'm pretty sure is low Valyrian, but he still emotes. He still gets the point across. I believe everything he does, even though I don't understand what he's saying.
No, and I gotta say, I thought that actor as well, who was begging for the death of, is that what he was doing in that moment?
Yeah, he was like, no, you need to kill this guy because he sucks. And that's, people here don't understand trials and mercy and justice. They understand blood.
Oh, sorry, that is who you were talking about.
Yeah.
The guy who gets...
No, I was talking about the guy, the guy at the end of the episode who gets executed, yeah.
Yeah. Because I thought, despite the ridiculousness of the language that he was speaking at the time, which I thought it sounded way too silly. I thought he was doing a very good job at acting, and I kind of felt bad giggling at him. Yeah,
acting through a conling has got to be very hard.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't know how people do it, but well done, everyone.
Especially when you're trying to have to produce tears while saying stuff like, and I quote, Nish, Nash, Nemash to Cumbash.
I mean, it's an important part of that culture, man. You shouldn't make fun. Oh, man. Well, I mean, do we have any other nominees for MVP? Let's have a quick glance here. Nope.
No other nominees for MVPs.
No, I think it's absolutely Brienne's chase down. That was awesome.
It's really cool.
Mm-hmm. Well, it brings us to our other question of violence.
I have 2 little V's for other violence.
Yep.
Arya takes the head off a pigeon.
Yep.
Oh, and the execution as well was totally off screen.
Yeah.
And he had a sickle and everything. I wanted to see that.
It's a cool curvy sword. So yeah, this was what's his name, who I can't remember, who changed actors between this and I think the last season. So you get to see that transition. He and Grey Worm are having this discussion about hunting people down. It's pretty good back and forth where he's all like, the Unsullied are completely obvious and terrible at being incognito, whereas his, mercenaries, they drink and they whore and they follow people home and then they break their fingers and get information out of them and all that. Walk into a house and, Grey Worm has this moment of, there's no one here. Oh, you fucked up. And the guy's like, oh, see, the trouble is you're not afraid of anything and you've forgotten, and not being afraid, you've forgotten how to hide, and just stabs a wall and the dude's behind it. It's like, nice.
Yeah.
So yeah, they now have a son of the Harpy they've captured, and they're debating whether or not he should be put on trial or just killed outright. Daenerys is kind of debating it, but doesn't get the chance because this other slave guy sneaks in. Actually, a lot of people sneak in. This is everyone. Yeah. Everyone was in on this inside job, and just do it for her.
Yeah, like there wasn't a lot to these scenes, but I think this is the most I've liked Moraine.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Which is saying something. Most of Moraine has bored the fuck out of me.
Yeah, I will say, because after they, execute the guy who killed this Harpy, there's the entire crowd start hissing at Daenerys and they start throwing rocks and stuff.
Okay, there were two big laughs for that episode.
For starters, mass hissing always sounds dumb. Ooh, it's like what are you in a silent movie?
Yeah, No, well, I was watching Community the other day, and they're all around the table and they start booing at Jeff, and then there's this moment where Troy just breaks out and goes, "Oh, boo!" And it's just like, saying boo at someone you don't like is kind of ridiculous.
Oh, absolutely.
As is a hiss.
Yeah,
I don't think we've collectively gotten there as a society. How do we, as a crowd?
I mean, boo is the best we got. I say hoot. Hoot, 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 hoot.
Oh, that's just pointing out Rubes.
That's true.
Like, if the Night's Watch really wanted to get under his Samwise's skin with Gilly, they just go, "Oh, Gilly's here." Hoot, 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 hoot,
hoot. Yes, but no, so the point I was making though, they all hiss it up. No, I mean, I just know we're going to steer off into talking about Sam from another series. No, they're all hissing at Dan Brady and throwing rocks and stuff. That kind of never comes up again. That she's losing the people a little bit.
No, it really doesn't, because then it's about the fighting pits where I guess she gets people back on side.
I suppose, maybe.
Oh, but that was our other note of violence, guy getting stabbed through the wall. That was very good.
Yeah, that whole scene. I do really like his whole bit about, fear is useful, and that helps you figure out, because you're an Unsullied and you don't fear anything, you can't think like a person who's afraid.
Yeah, because Grey Worm is, a very prideful person, obviously got a bit shattered there. Like,
he's like, okay, I guess you got him. And that's when they become a buddy cop duo, and they're Grey Worm and that guy.
So brief.
Yeah. It could have been great. The other buddy cop movie we had was Varys and Tyrion hanging around in this box while Tyrion is just like, it sucks in here. But again, they have some fun banter.
I don't know if was just... because this scene was social isolation.
It was a little too real for you right now.
A little too real.
Yeah, fair. Well, I do like Tyrion's looking...
I want to go for a walk.
You can't.
Well, I can walk. Yeah, it's fine. I'm just making excuses.
And I'm just being dramatic. God. No, I do like Tyrion's like, there's a bug in my wine. It's like, oh, well, then maybe you'll actually eat a solid.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
Yeah. And then I do like when, he's like, Cecil Lannister has put out a price on your head. And he's like, well, should have made that price her cunt, because it's the best part of me for the best part of her. Hi-oh!
Hey.
It was a good line.
I actually thought it was a decent transition of how many dwarves could there be or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's like slamming the decapitated head. Not him.
Yep.
There's another note of violence.
Oh, yeah, decapitated head. See, it's not the same if you don't see it come off. Then it's just a prop.
Oh, that's interesting. We saw a decapitated head without a decapitation, and we saw a decapitation without, the evidence.
Yeah, true. We've got both sides of the coin. Neither one is satisfying as having a coin. Yeah, but they dumped the head on Darth Maester's table, and they're all like,
oh, you wanted a coin? You lost this.
Ooh,
whatever.
Yeah. No, you can't. Actually, I was about to say you can't do magic tricks on a podcast, but who's to say that you cannot? Doves from everywhere. Is this your card? It is. Yeah, I just became the only audio magician.
Yep. Think about what card you were holding, audience. That's exactly the card that Beach just pulled out there.
Oh, yeah, for every single one listening, all 15. Nice. I'm great at this. Yeah, so I don't know. What do we got on this? Just Darth Maester is there. And I do like when everyone leaves, it is like, oh, take the head. I'm like, oh, actually, I kind of want the head. Can I'll just put it over there with the other heads. I'll just fiddle with that later.
See if I can attach it to the mountain in some way.
Yeah, I'm thinking maybe put a head on his back and then he'll be able to see out his back. That's awesome, right?
That would be very useful for a warrior.
Yeah, he just keeps adding bits.
Yeah.
Just ends up with Goro.
Sick.
Yeah. Not going to lie, that would have been way better.
Imagine that thing fighting the Hound. Fucking hell.
Hey. And yeah, he also gets declared in this episode to be the Master of Whispers. I'm like, that is a dope name.
Yeah, I found this scene kind of interesting, actually.
The small council with Cersei basically just handing out roles to anyone who's complaining.
Yeah. Yeah, Seesaw and the old British stereotypes.
Yeah, weird. That's a weird band name, but I'll take it.
Yeah, because you have fancy British. Oh, I'm the Lord of Coin now.
Oh, yes.
And then you had the Well I Never guy. I think he was the Whispers, Lord of Whispers. I say, oh, Lord of Whispers. And an extremely proud person. I can tell what you're doing, cunt.
Yeah, so I'm going back to Castle Rock. Piss off.
Yeah.
Yeah, that guy. Yeah, but yeah, that's just a room of British men. Just kind of look through here. Oh yeah, then we move to
yeah, because there was no nudity in this one.
Yeah, I literally forgot the question. Nudity. Moving on.
Yeah,
there was none.
Not even any cock talk.
Not even. I know. I enjoy my cock talk. It's funny.
Bron was there with a new lady and having a quick chat with Jamie, and there was no cock talk.
I did freaking love that bit. Bron, everything he does is great. And I got a great little of like a game of pythons where he's looking at, they're looking at their castle together. It's like, oh, it's a lot. He's like, yeah, that's a pretty good house. It's only a model.
Yeah. And so what happens to this girl then?
We never see her again.
Yeah, I know. Like, did he just later, bitch?
Pretty much. Well, Jaime Lannister promised better things, and he always goes for better things.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, that's Bron's way, and that's why he's awesome. I do like how his wife kind of fangirls out at Jaime Lannister, like, oh, Jaime Lannister.
Yeah.
Runs over, and there's like, run along, love. She's like, I wanted to meet Jaime Lannister. Yeah, it's a sad fangirl.
Well, no, I just feel sorry for her because, yeah, like, am I going to see her anymore, or?
I don't think so.
Yeah. Because I just felt bad because her character is so obviously one-dimensional and just unfleshed out. It just felt like, I don't know, they did her a disservice.
Yeah, she's boring and her sister's mean, and Bron's all like, oh, well, maybe something unfortunate will happen to your sister, then we can live in this castle, because,
yeah.
That's the way Bron operates.
Yeah, I guess if it was part of a bigger story, yeah, but it felt like, chirpy, naggy girl is chirpy and naggy. Like, it was a bit of a reduction, and I didn't really like it.
Yep, no, it's fair. But again, she's just there for the purpose. She's kind of meant to be boring because, it's meant to be just illustrating how this is what Bron wants. He comes full place to settle down and live and doesn't really care who with because, hey, he's fine. Yeah. He's happy, he's rich, he's got a nice place. It's all good.
Yeah. So what are the other questions on your questionnaire? Have we done them all?
Yep. I have a bunch more notes, but they weren't really related to any particular part, so...
Yeah. I gotta say, okay, the Arya thing, is this how she proved herself to get into the thing? This was fucking nothing.
Yeah.
Why was he all of a sudden willing to accept her? She didn't do... Like, she stayed out the night of the thing... and then threw a coin away and fucked off.
Yep.
Like, what?
Like, no. So, yeah, she rocks up to the House of Black and White and knocks on the door, and like a guy...
Also, it's not the House of Black and White, it's the house with the black and white doors.
I know, I don't know.
It's a mostly beige place. And
it's actually huge as well, like, as in tall.
Yes.
Like, every time we see her inside it, she's going downstairs. Never upstairs. What is in the top floors of these? Just, like, actually really nice bedrooms and stuff?
Yeah.
I don't know.
That maybe are black and white, but yeah, all I've seen is beige and then blue lit beige and then black and white doors.
Anyway, she rocks up these black and white doors. She knocks, she hands this guy the coin, she asks for this guy's by name, and he's like, no one here by that name, closes the door, and then she just like stays there for maybe a day or two, and then throws the coin in the water and walks off. It's like, you tried once.
Yeah.
Like maybe that dude doesn't, this place is huge, that dude doesn't know everyone who lives here.
Rap on the door again.
Yeah, I know. Be like, are you sure? I do have a coin. Look at it. It's all coin-shaped.
But no, because she almost gets fucking mugged in the street, that's why he's turning her. Fuck off. This sucked.
I don't know, man. Because once again, the second we find out the guy who answers the door is actually, Assassin's Creed the dude.
Didn't see that coming.
Yeah, no, it's just all like, he's immediately cryptic. He's like, oh, dude, you kind of suck.
Yeah.
Like, to be perfectly honest, I know she gets there, but I feel like it's in spite of you, not because of you.
No. And, like, for all of his fucking cryptic, vague, complete this specific task with only my stupidly out there instructions, for this to be such an unfocused and impactful introduction to her staying in here. Just, it pissed me off.
Yeah, fair. Maybe it wasn't so much about the part where, she gets cornered by these three guys and stares them down, and more about he saw her kill that pigeon, was like, nice. Now, if you can do the same thing, but with peeps, we can do this. We can work.
It's a natural evolution.
Pigeons to peeps to people.
Well, you got to go via Pidgeottos first.
No. No one wants to stab Pokemon. That's fucked. But I do like when she's sitting on the porch reciting the names on her kill list. Cersei and Walder Frey and the Mountain. And then she got to what sounded like Merlin Trout. And I'm like, is that Stabface? That guy's name is stupid. Merlin Trout?
Oh, the guy she fucking owned.
Oh, yeah, just stabs in the eyes and yeah.
Merlin Trout.
I mean, I think that's what it sounded like she was saying. Maybe I'm wrong, but I don't know.
Maybe because he does live in this dockside town, it's like why, some people have the last name Smith derived from blacksmith. A lot of people last names is based on jobs.
There. He's just there when he dies.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
I don't know, man.
His father was a troutman, and his father
before him, Trout's all the way down.
Like everyone assumed that Arya, when she was working her job, her last name was Cockles.
Yeah. Oysters, clams, and cockles.
Oh, yep. Hyphenated. It was...
I know, big family.
Polyamorous family joint businesses. Anyway, whatever.
There's some weird fanfic for you. But certainly not the weirdest.
It's not even the weirdest shit in Game of Thrones. Polyamory would be quite tame, actually,
yeah,
compared to a lot of the shit we've watched.
Quite so. We then go. My next note is about Seesaw and Jim Jam Lannister, who are having this little meeting. And I like that she's got this elaborate box set up, and he walks in and kind of lifts it up, and she already knows what's inside. So it's like the inside is like a serpent statue holding Marcella's necklace. So it's a warning, but what I like is she had to have opened that and then set it back up for him to reveal it himself.
Yeah.
So she has to be like, okay, you got to lift this part. Hang on, how are you supposed to hold it to get... Can someone hold the other side
Fucking
while I
Dornish
put the
puzzles.
pin in? Yeah, okay. Do you have to turn the pin? It fell apart again. Look, we're getting this. It's effective. Maybe if you turn this part top-wise...
Bring me some of the King's men to help me with this, but we only serve the king. Just do it!
Oh my God. Just hold one side of it. Yeah, pretty much. It's those little details that I always enjoy thinking about that happen off screen.
No, definitely.
We have a bit of Dornish lady just hate watching Marcella walk around with her son, and we've discovered that she's like, is that her son? No, what I was saying. I was about to say that's her,
nephew.
Mothers clearly hate dating in this show, but that's not even. She just hates Marcella. It's got nothing to do with. Yeah, I got that note wrong.
Yeah, again, it's setting up some things that I've seen the exciting conclusion on. So yeah, the scene really lacked any impact for me.
Yep, and she talks to Wheelchair Guy, and he's actually a very awesome leader. He's very fair.
Yeah.
He's all like, Marcella didn't do anything wrong. Also, what's his face died in trial by combat. That's not murder. We can't really, why would we ride it, start a war over that? That's stupid. She's like, you suck. He's like,
yeah,
whatever, bitch. I'm sad that guy died.
Yeah. Well, maybe we'll see more of him.
I don't remember, so I'm going to say no.
Oh, fair enough. Yeah, the only other notes I have really is like the Sam Gilly, Callus girl stuff, which actually was a back and forth I really enjoyed.
Yeah, me too.
With all three of them, I thought that was a great character dynamic.
Yeah, when Sam from another series is sitting there reading, and Shireen is teaching Gilly how to read, and does the whole snake kind of thing. A lot of hissing in this episode.
Yeah.
And then Sam's like, did you know the youngest Lord Commander ever elected was 10 years old? And Gilly's just like, I know S.
That was such a fucking well-delivered line. I loved it so much. I gotta...
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
I know S.
It goes...
like snake.
Yep.
I don't know how she does it. She just talks with her teeth wide.
Yeah, just all teeth in that mouth. Yeah.
But then, the whole Jon getting elected head of the Night's Watch, I could have done without this scene.
Yeah, it's a bit meh stuff.
This person did this thing. Oh, rabble. This person did this thing. But I did enjoy Samwise's little bit of stand-up.
I was about to say when he stands up to nominate Jon and the other guy who loses his head in the next episode.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, it was all like, Jon Snow just fucks wildlings. What do you want, someone who fights wildlings? And the guy's like, and then Sam has this great bit of, it's true, but you did cower next to a wildling and her newborn baby when the wildlings were attacking us, so guess you suck because you also pissed yourself. But just how he says it so Sam as well, but also it's good to see him get a few digs in. He so rarely does.
Yeah, what was the actual phrase? And he was in a mess of his own creation.
Puddle of his own making.
God, it is very fucking Python of Monty.
Oh, yeah, sometimes. I mean, I think I had an earlier bit now. I can't remember what it was.
Yeah.
I think it was just, I knocked on the door once. What else am I supposed to do?
Yeah.
Yep.
But yeah, this just placed at the end of the episode, which then was followed by the Arya thing. It just, yeah, I think it left a sour taste in my mouth. Like, because again, going over, the whole episode, maybe I was being a little bit harsh at it at the top, but yeah, to be honest, again, a lot of talking, not a lot of action, and not a lot of engaging content.
No, that's fair. Because, yeah, when I was writing down what are the key points of this episode for people at home and trying to remember what happened, it was just Arya goes to a house and Jordan gets elected.
Yeah.
That's it. Arya does have the good line when, these guys surround her and they're like, that's a nice sword. It'll be worth 100 gold at least. And she's like, nothing's worth anything to a dead man. It's like, ooh, nice.
No, I mean, Maisie Williams rules.
Yeah, as she always does.
She's been really helping me through all this fucking bobcats and bobcunts and whatever.
Yeah, but I am out of notes then, so we must ask our final question, unless you got anything else?
Oh, yeah, the last shot with Daenerys and the dragon coming, like, I don't know. I think it was meant to look pretty, but I didn't like it.
Yeah, I didn't like it either because it was basically just heavily labored metaphor.
Yeah.
Where it's like, she's clearly losing her grip and power because she's had all these people who formerly loved her now booing her, and she's got this dragon that won't obey her anymore. And it's just, yeah, I got it. Thank you.
Yeah, I don't know. I felt like they were going for, a pretty outro, and it just, I don't know, it didn't land for me. It didn't look good.
And also knowing that the resolution to that is Deus Ex Dragon when she's in the fighting pits and it just rocks up. And you're like, oh, really? That's the conclusion. She doesn't prove her worth to her own dragons anymore. It just comes back and everything's fine.
But yeah, the only other note I had was, again, with fucking me being annoyed with people being vague. Littlefinger's just slight hand gesture for people to move aside. Like, I don't know if that's what I'd take that to mean. Yeah. Like, and to be honest, like, it was such a small, like, unimpactful movement that I'd be like, what do you want me... Has she got something on her face? Like, do you want me to brush something?
Brush gently. Yeah, no, I'm the same way. It's like, every time there's a nod and then they kill person, you're like, well...
Why did you do that?
It's like...
I need words.
Yeah, I want there to be a scene. It's like, no, we talked about this before we had the meeting. A nod means kill them, let them go, and a nod... Like, by shaking my hand means kill them.
Yeah.
Like, you do the opposite of what you think it is. I want to try to trick him to be dramatic and shit, Okay? You got it?
We each speak, like, 5 fucking languages.
Yeah.
Lose words from any one of those.
Just communication is essential in these life and death situations. Yeah. I'm much the same way. I'm just get to the point, speak your mind.
But other than that, I'm out of notes.
All right, let's ask our final question. How did we get here?
Oh, well, I've been informed by...
yourself?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, because we already covered this. The next episode's going to be called The Wars to Come. So, obviously, there's going to be a bunch of celibate people that really want to break from their oppressive regime that are preventing them from ejaculating, so they go for wars so they can come.
Right, well, sounds gross. But we'll find out, I guess.
Daenerys is going to fight for her power to squat.
Well, much like in the last episode where Tyrion was tired of being in the box, in this one he was in the box, so in the next one we're going to see him get into a box.
Oh, nice.
Yes, presumably.
What's in the box? What's in the box?
Tyrion.
Oh.
Yeah, other than that, I don't know. How many threads do we have to go back through? To be fair, there was also talk of battle with the wildlings. We might see some of that.
Yeah. And, Pod and Bray will show up to that place. Arya will get on a boat.
Yeah, look, I'm not going to lie. I feel like next one might be a little bit more boring than we hoped. But we'll find out next time on Thrones of Game. Till then, I've been BT Calloway. That's been Elliot Jay O'Neill.
Nish, Nash, Nemash to Cumbash.
And for now, our watch has ended. Cumbash.
S.5 pa Cumbash.